All right, example 2, 8.93 plus 0.367. We really like this problem because it's just plain old adding. We don't have to know any special rules. We already know how to do this, or you should already know how to do this. All right, we don't have to worry about the rules because it's just adding, nothing fancy. So we've got 8.93 plus 0.367. Again, it's important to align the decimal points. All right, as you can see, I've got an empty spot which I need to fill in there. I'm going to fill that in with a placeholder, so I'm going to put a 0 in there. And now I can start adding. So, I've got 7 and 0, which is, of course, 7. 6 and 3, which is, of course, 9. 9 and 3, which makes 12. Drop the 2, carry a 1. 1, 8, and 0 make 9. Bring the decimal straight down, 9.297. All right, example 3, 7.624 plus negative 0.05. 7.624 plus negative 0.05. All right. Step 1 doesn't apply because I don't have to change the subtraction sign. There is no subtraction sign. All right, so now I have to pick if I'm going to follow the left branch or the right branch. As you can see, 7.624 is a positive number. The 0.05 is a negative number. So they're different signs, so I'm going to follow the right branch. The right branch says, this is the first time we've done the right branch, I have to subtract the numbers ignoring the signs. So, I'm going to throw the negative out for the time being, and I'm just going to do 7.624 minus 0.05. Now, as you can see, the gaping hole in this problem is underneath the 4 to the right of the 5. I'm going to put my 0 in as a placeholder there. Again, I'm subtracting, and when you subtract here, you got to do the high minus the low when you throw the signs out. Okay, you know by now when's a number bigger than other numbers. Okay, so I can go right into the subtracting here. So I've got 4 minus 0. 4 minus 0 is, of course, 4. 2 minus 5 isn't something I can do, so I'm going to have to go ahead and borrow. Remember, when I borrow, I decrease that number by 1, so 6 becomes 5. And when I borrow, I increase by 10, so 2 becomes 12. So I've got 12 minus 5 now. That is something I can do. That was the purpose of borrowing. That is 7. 5 minus 0 is, of course, 5. 7 and nothing, obviously 7. And the decimal comes straight down. Okay, so we took care of the subtracting. Now we just got to look at the third step. Apply the sign of the number with the largest absolute value to the result. Right? Well, remember, absolute value is the number of jumps it takes to reach 0 on a number line. So this would be 7.624 jumps. Try doing that. That's negative 0.05 jumps. Obviously, 7 is bigger than any decimal that's less than 1. So since this is positive, the result has to be positive. So it's positive 7.574.
So if the negative's bigger than it would be negative.
Then the answer would be negative. All right, example 4. Now we finally get to some subtraction problems. 8.91 minus 2.745. 8.91 minus 2.745. All right, we finally got a subtraction problem, so now I'm going to have to start using step 1. Again, step 1 says to change subtraction into adding the opposite. So I'm going to have to rewrite this problem as 8.91 plus negative. Remember, adding the opposite means I change subtraction into addition. and the number after it changes its sign. So it was positive, now it's becoming a negative. Okay, so we took care of step one. Now we can figure out which route we're going to take, the same sign or a different sign. Is this the same sign or a different sign problem? It's a different sign problem. 8.91 is positive, but 2.745 is a negative, so we have to follow a different sign rule. Different sign rule says we have to subtract the numbers, high minus the low, ignoring the signs. So I'm doing 8.91 minus 2.745. Again, I have that gaping hole there. I need to fill in a 0 as a placeholder. Yes, Josh?
I was going to see if that's what we're going to do again. Fill in the spot.
All right, now you can see right off the bat when we're subtracting, I can't do 0 minus 5. That's going to be a problem for me. So I'm going to have to go ahead and borrow. When I borrow here, the 1 drops down to a 0, and the 0 increases to a 10. All right, so now I've got 10 minus 5 here. That's good. We can do that. That serves the purpose. 10 minus 5 is 5.